It's the beginning of another great day. A sunny summer day. It's the best day for you know what. I'm going to read you a quote from Norm Macdonald. And he says this: the idiot sees the world as good versus evil. The cynic sees the world as evil versus evil. The truth that no one seems to be able to see is that the world is, and always has been, a battle of good versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Wow. This is actually really profound. This is the situation we find ourselves in. There are not two sides in which one is good and one is evil. There are two sides in which one feels that it is good and it believes, incorrectly, that the other one is evil. But both sides are pretty sure that their version of the world is the good one. Wow. The world is, and always has been, a battle of good versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Wow. 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 Wow.
I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. It's just one of those happy days.
Sign me up Saturday. Let's go.
It's just one of those days. It's just one of those happy days. It's just one of those happy days. It's just one of those happy days.
Sign me up Saturday, son. Get hype. Hoo, 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 hoo. Let's go.
I'm losing my cool.
It's all about happy days. It's just one of those happy days. It's just one of those happy days. The weekend comes, let's up the runs, ready to rescue you. These days,
I feel like shit.
Sign me up, son. Let's go. Get hype. Like the video. Share the tweet. Let everybody know we're getting signed up. Call the cops, baby.
Everyone, so you'll start playing games.
give me something great. Give me something great. I hope you know I like a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
Today's a new day, it's happening in Detroit. You're feeling okay, we're with you, Detroit. No holding back now. On the right track now. Stand up and tell them you're from Detroit. We build it better right here in Detroit. Working together, we're making it in Detroit. It's time to shout it, no doubt about it. Stand up and tell them you're from Detroit. You've got the spirit, tell them you're from Detroit. Come on, let's hear it, tell them you're from Detroit. We're a team that's hometown, there's no town like Motown. You're at the heart of it, Seven's a part of it. Stand up and tell them you're from Detroit.
Sign everybody up. Welcome back to another special edition of Sign Me Up Summer. We didn't do the USFL podcast this week, so you know what that means. That means your boy, Ref, he's going solo. Sign Me Up Saturday continues. I mean, this back-to-back Sign Me Up Saturdays, it's been a while. It's been a while. How is everybody doing in the chat? We got a lot to talk about. We're up to 12. Count them, 12, baby. USFL players heading to the NFL. Some of y'all might have forgot the Reffy boy. He's a man of many hats. Speaking of which, I'm wearing my camo ducky hat, which if you missed out, you missed out. This was part of that charity merch that we did during the season. Over 1,000 families were fed thanks to Ducky and the newsroom crew donating all those proceeds. But maybe for season 3, we'll have some new charity situation. We'll see. We'll see. But 12 players to the USFL, from the USFL to the NFL. I'm a man of many hats. Some forget I'm not just the founder of USFL Newsroom. I'm not just the founder of Pro Football Newsroom, but I'm a founder of a little site called XFL Newsroom. And I got a little skinny that we put out last Sunday after we recorded. We'll touch on that. And then if we have time, of course, we're talking about that XFL Combine. But first things first, sign everybody up for joining. Grab yourself a drink. You know my choice. Water gang gang. Get that water in your life. Stay hydrated. It's good for you. Feel better. It feels better. The answer is always yes. Stubble Ref Summer continues. Looking more and more like a homeless man every day. I waffle. I go back and forth. Some days I love it. Some days I hate it. But it is summer in Texas. But here's what I want you guys to do. First, everybody that's watching the video, sign you up. Welcome. Like the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Click the bell. It builds morale. It also lets you know when we're going live. Just like this. It's Sign Me Up Summer, baby. Zach is busy. He's got real life things going on, but the Ref is here to bring the Sign Me Up Summers coming. Now, if we record next week, probably not going to be a Sign Me Up Saturday. But if we don't, you know your boy is going to be here in the saddle getting signed up with all of y'all. So make sure you like the video, subscribe, click the bell, get that morale. Social media, what the hell are you doing? At USFL Podcast, at USFL Newsroom, at The Ref Says. If you want to get signed up just a little bit, make sure you're following us over at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those places. Threads, if that's your thing. TikTok, even maybe. Sign you up. That's where you can find out all the latest news, all the latest information on new shows, podcasts, what's going on in my life. I mean, I'll be honest. We're about to go on a field trip, baby. Field trip in August. We're heading back to Detroit. I don't know what happened. I hadn't been to Detroit in 6-7 years. Now I'm there like every week, it feels like. But we're heading back to Detroit, baby. Actually, I'm heading back to the Midwest, but I'm making a pit stop in Detroit, baby, for the Woodward Cruise. So here's my situation. If you're going to be at the Woodward Cruise, now I know a lot of you probably don't even know what that is, but if you do, if you're in the Michigan or the Detroit area, let your boy, the ref, knows. We should get a group picture. I'm probably going to do some filming out there, maybe do a field trip episode, off season, off topic, because I'll tell you this, and I've teased it, I've talked about it. I know some people probably know it, some people probably do not. I'm also making a pit stop in Frankenmuth, Michigan, old Germantown, beautiful chicken, big cuckoo clock. They got all sorts of stuff, and it's probably been at least 15 years, maybe 20 years since I've been there. So I might do a field trip video. I might. Or I might just enjoy it. We'll see. We'll see. That's like American Truck Simulator. I've been playing that. I was going to stream it, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm just going to enjoy what we got going on for us. So maybe not an episode that week, but it'll be replenished with some type of supplementary content of some sort. We'll see. The answer's always yes, though. Man, I'm parched already. Call the cops. It must be illegal to have this much fun on a Saturday if my voice is already parched. We're only, 5 minutes into this bad boy. We haven't even started talking about the news. So let me take a sip of this water. And we're going to get in actually a little bit of XFL news because, hey, I got the scoop. I dropped the scoop, and the scoop was confirmed. For everybody who wants to know, the ref is on the scene. The ref knows all. The ref sees all. I've actually been holding on to this information for a while. And I said, you know what? I don't know. This Sunday, last Sunday, it felt like the right time to drop it. And boy, was I right, spot on. Some people said misinformation. The ref is never wrong, baby. The ref has them all. 2 sleeves, both full of tricks. Act like you heard. So let's jump over here. So again, hey, if you're over on Twitter, like this tweet, share this tweet at USFL Podcast. Let's take a look. What did the little reffy boy have to say last Sunday? Was it Sunday or Saturday? I don't even remember. I think it was Sunday, 23rd. That was Sunday. So last Sunday, word on the street is that the XFL is exploring different venues for the Roughnecks in 2024. We expect the team to remain in Houston, and Rice Stadium appears to be a strong contender. Now, let's just look at the comments here real quick. So we have expert, of course, USFL folding soon. I don't think that's the case. Bama boy, coming in hot. Call me a traitor to my people. But like I said, a scoop is a scoop is a scoop. And you know your boy, the ref, is going to report on a scoop. Like I said, I've actually been sitting on this one for a while. I've been talking to a couple people in the background just to get more information. And so as you'll see when I put out the tweet, I just kept it what we know. Exploring different venues for the Roughnecks 2024. Expect to stay in Houston, Rice Stadium. Now, naturally, once you get into the circles of nonsense in the internet, my favorite parts, in fact, this is the thing. It doesn't even bother me because I love the internet because it's still a little bit of the wild, wild west. And I love a little bit of chaos. I love a little bit of wild, wild west. You know me, I love a little bit of speculation, hence the speculation zone. But people ran with this. People made all sorts of ideas in their head on what I was saying. And ultimately, it led to the XFL putting out a statement just a few days later. I think it happened on Monday or Tuesday. So first, they sent out a notice to all their season ticket holders. And essentially, as right now, here are the 4 things you need to know. We're committed to Houston. Boom. Called it, baby. Sign me up. Will continue to be a key city for the XFL. Roughnecks, a credible season. Boom, we ain't going anywhere. they're in discussions with TDECU Stadium on the construction timeline and potential impact of renovations. So long story short, TDECU, they're making some changes at the stadium, doing a little bit of construction work. So the Cougars off season is partially the Roughnecks on season. And so there may be some areas where there's going to be some overlap there. And so they're trying to figure out the best path forward. So I know there's some thoughts. Well, is this a cost savings thing? Is this a construction thing? Is this oh my God, is the league folding thing? Well, no, I don't think it's the league folding thing. I think it could be a 2 birds, 1 stone thing though. Hey, renovations at TDECU. You were already part of a deal coming from the original league. Some might be a little bit heftier, some moving to Rice Stadium. And at least now you have this as a fallback reason of, no, we didn't do it for cost savings. We did it for the renovations. But going forward, we're sticking around at Rice Stadium. Let me just bump this up just a little bit. I think I'm a little bit low. Test. 2.9. What? There we go. Let's put you there. So anyway, the Roughnecks are staying in Houston. The ref called it. I had to take a little bit, just a tiny bit, just a smidge, a little ounce of a victory lap. Ducky, yep. Ducky, you like my hat? I'm loving this hat too. And, I feel bad for all the folks that missed out on that Ducky merch. Feeding America, feeding the world, solving world hunger. 1,000 families fed. Thanks to Ducky and the newsroom crew. Like I said, maybe season 3. Maybe season 3 will do something different, something special. And now that we have some contacts when it comes to actually screen printing T-shirts, maybe we'll do it all in-house. That'll allow us to, God, I don't want to do that. Maybe we will though. Maybe we will, but we would have to take shipping in-house, or I could probably figure something out. The answer is always yes. 2 sleeves, both full of tricks. But I did want to talk about the Roughnecks thing. Like I said, if we have more time at the end, we're going to talk about the combine. But before we do that, let's jump over to the big news, man. I mean, it started out a little bit slow, and now we're really getting into the grind here. We now have 12, officially 12 USFL players headed to the NFL already, and there's still plenty of time to go. I mean, we'll just run down the list, but we're going to go in depth on some of these guys here at least all the guys that have been announced since the last time we were here for Sign Me Up Saturday. This is the beauty of actually doing a weekly show. Sign Me Up Saturday, it was like once a month every now and then, maybe once a year. Back to back, baby, 2 weeks in a row. We're going to be on a hot streak if we go 3. Whew. Sign me up all day and night. So, of course, let's just run down the list. We have Brandon Aubrey. He's going to the Cowboys. Cowboys, I mean, they're hot to trot on these USFL guys. Maybe it's because Moose Johnston, he is a Cowboys legend. Maybe there's something to that, or maybe they really got an eye for spring football. But for the second year in a row, the Cowboys, first to strike, they're picking up Brandon Aubrey. Then we saw Josh Peterson joining his dad over there in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alex Magoo going to the Packers, FTP, but whatever, sign him up. Austin Watkins to the Browns. Davion Davis to the Arizona Cardinals. Jay Sternberger, man, the Stallions are getting picked off this season. Jay Sternberger heading over to the Buffalo Bills. Deion Kane, we've been waiting for this one for a while. This one we knew had been coming for, I think like 2 weeks, maybe more than 2 weeks. Well, now it's official. He is heading to the Philadelphia Eagles. We have Caden Davis going from the Panthers to the Cardinals. Levi Bell, again, the Panthers are getting fleeced a little bit as well. Levi Bell, Panthers to the Seahawks. Butler, Panthers to the Cowboys, coming in for that double dip, getting signed up. A big one here, Kayava to Zeno. I couldn't believe that this one didn't go sooner. He's going from the Pittsburgh Maulers to the San Francisco 49ers. And, of course, Trey Quinn going from the Panthers to the Lions. Restore the roar. Restore the roar. Jared Goff has a new man to target to. Sign him up. And I am looking forward to some Quinn action. I think a lot of these guys have a chance at getting some playing time this season. And we're going to jump right into it. We're just going to jump right into it. Let me get my notes. So I think where we left off last week was Austin Watkins. So we're going to Davion Davis. I mean, Stallions to the Cardinals. The Cardinals were looking at a lot of guys here. Now, this one's an interesting one. And here's the deal. You should be checking out USFLnewsroom.com daily for all the latest news, picks, signings, all of that. My man, MVP, James Larson, has been putting in some flipping work. Also, Jeremiah Lane, Gridiron USFL on Twitter, putting in work. My man, Luke Miller, putting in work. Me, I've been putting in some work. But not nearly as much as those fine gentlemen over there. And that's not even to ignore all of our other wonderful writers. But I mean, you might not even be able to tell that it's the off season with how much content that we've been pumping out. So make sure you're checking out USFLnewsroom.com daily. It's a daily occurrence. Get signed up. But Davion Davis, interesting one here. Originally, he was supposed to play for my Houston Roughnecks of the XFL. Rough them up. Get signed up. Let's go. But he was cut before the season began, which is unfortunate because I feel like, clearly he was a major player for his team this year, the Stallions. And that could have been one of the contributing factors that could have put the Roughnecks over the top and got us to that championship game. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Let's focus on what he did do for the Stallions. Well, here's what he did. 575 receiving yards on the season and 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns that, if you'll recall, some of these games, some of them were blowouts. There was that game against the Memphis Showboats, 42-2. What a shellacking. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. But a lot of these other games, there was a lot of injuries on the Stallions. They were close games. And so these 4 touchdowns, they were very impactful for his team. Well, now he has a chance to shine in the NFL for the Arizona Cardinals, my other previous home. There's a lot of my previous homes floating around on this list here. Moving on, another Stallions, though, Jay Sternberger, tight end, heading from the Stallions to the Buffalo Bills. My guy, dude, Jace was a name that everybody was screaming in the Discord. Link down below. You should join and get signed up. But that was a name that everybody was screaming during the season in that Discord during these Stallions games, dude. Well, one, phenomenal tight end play in the USFL in 2024. Can we just take a moment to say that? Claps all around. Tight ends, everybody loves them. Ducky, you ain't wrong. This could be the Stallions' downfall, man. Three-peat's going to be hard losing all these players. But anyway, he earned all USFL honors this year as the best tight end in the league. He finished with 39 catches for 644 yards and 8 touchdowns in 12 games, right? He went to the championship, baby. He set a modern league record. Tight end set a modern league record with 7 receiving touchdowns. My guys, dude, it's not hard to see why the Stallions were dominant this year, because we're just going down this list and it's one after another of Stallions players that went above and beyond, showed bad word time. Hey, this is what you get for being live, but they showed what they had on the field and got it done, son. But moving on, this is the one a lot of people were waiting for. We knew that it was coming. We knew that he at least had the opportunity, had some options in front of him about signing with an NFL team at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks before the news came out. Deon Cain, wide receiver for the Stallions, wide receiver for the Stallions, heading to the Philadelphia Eagles. I knew I was looking at the wrong line where I said Arizona Cardinals. I said, that ain't right. He's heading to the Eagles. I got some beef with the Eagles, but not as much as I do with the Packers, so I ain't going to give him too much grief here. But sign him up. I mean, options, having options in front of you, looking at where you might be able to fit in the best with a team to get the most playing time or the opportunity to have the most playing time is boding well for some of these guys. So he joined the Stallions before season 2 began. essentially looking to bring depth to a team that had lost Victor Bolden in the offseason. So this is nothing new for the Stallions. We're all looking at this like, oh my God, the Stallions got fleeced. Well, they also won the championship in 2022. They also lost a good amount of guys in 2022. They filled up that bucket in 2023, even fought an injury bug riddled early season and came out on top and won another championship. I mean, if Skip Holtz is sticking around with this team, which we're still waiting to see, there was those rumors about Northwestern, but if Skip sticks with the team, man, I wouldn't put anything past him. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put one thought past Skip Holtz putting it up, packaging it up, and putting in a three-peat. I know some people would hate it. Some people hate it already that there's potentially a dynasty in the USFL. But you know what? That's got to feel good for those Birmingham fans, just like it felt good for Deion Kane when he solidified his trip back to the NFL with a championship performance in the USFL championship. 171 total yards, catching 4 passes for 70 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 flipping touchdowns, right? I mean, if you look at the end score in that championship game, sure, it looks like a blowout, man, dude. That first half, the Maulers had every shot in the world, and they even got robbed. Maulers got robbed calling that run all the way back that resulted in a touchdown. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. But he finished the year with 182 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, while posting 668 kick return yards. Dude's going to be a beast. Has the opportunity to be a beast, be that guy that Turpin was for the Cowboys, but for the Eagles, which isn't that just poetry in motion right there? Watch this season come down to the Eagles and the Cowboys. Who's going to make it into the postseason? And have these two guys running back kick returns left and right. God wants to see it. I want to see it. You want to see it. We all want to get signed up and see it, so let's make it happen. Papa needs another sip of this water. Water, gang, gang. Drink some water. It makes you feel good, feel better. It feels better. While I pause here, how's the chat doing? How's everyone doing? Looks like we got a couple folks in here. Here's what I want to do, though. I'm looking at the like counter. I'm looking at the viewers counter. And they're not going to, you know what? They're not quite matching up. Do me a solid. Do me a favor. Do the ref a quick one. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Click the bell. It builds morale. It'll get you signed up. But we got more. We got more USFL folks to talk about here. Caden Davis, like I said, the Panthers, man. We saw a string of these Panthers guys making the move, and now the Arizona Cardinals, they're a little hot to trot, a little sweet for the treat, coming in for some more of that USFL action. Davis joined the Michigan Panthers mid-season. After signing, he saw limited reps on offense, but was an important piece on special teams, returning kicks, punts, so on and so forth. He finished the season with 8 receptions for 83 yards, returned 12 kicks for a total of 311 yards, averaging 25.9 yards per return. So, to me, you know what this shows, it's not just the guys that have been there since the beginning of the season. It's not just the guys that are maybe household names in every one of these games making the big play that is getting a set of eyeballs on them. These NFL scouts are paying attention. I mean, look at the Cardinals right here. They picked up Davion Davis, but then went with Caden Davis, who had limited playing time, came in mid-season, but they saw the potential in the few games that he played in. Short season, only 10-game season. So you're coming in mid-season, you're already losing 50% of the eyeballs, 50% of the action. People that may have been there week 1 when there was a lot of visibility might not be there week 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? But here he is, getting that jump, showing that the thing that we've all wanted is happening. We've always wanted a stepping stone, an opportunity for these guys to continue playing football, continue chasing their dream, and then furthermore, having the opportunity to continue their career in the NFL. And it seems like every day, and there's probably going to be more today, we're going to wrap up this live stream, and is probably already going to be outdated. We're already going to be out of the loop on signings. But I'm catching you up as fast as we can. At the moment, we're at 12. 12 USFL players that have moved on. We're less than a month out from when the USFL championship wrapped up, right? Less than a month, 12 players. Still have a few weeks until the preseason starts. And even then, if we look back to last NFL season rather, we still saw some of these USFL guys trickling through during the early season and even in some instances late in the season. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see history repeat itself again. But Caden Davis, sign him up, moving from the Panthers to the Cardinals. Again, it's a little weird for me. I used to live in Michigan. I used to live in Arizona. Now I'm seeing all these guys making the move in between all my former cities. Nobody coming to sweet old Texas, but sorry to spoil the surprise. Levi Bell, defensive end. He's moving from the Panthers as well. This time, though, he's heading to the Seattle Seahawks. Let me take a sip water. Gang. What do they do on TikTok? I'm not going to do it. Where they reenact the emojis. Gang. That's all I'll take. Ice cream's so good. You know, that thing. You know what? I think I need to reassess my career. Maybe I should go on TikTok. Gang. Ice cream so good. 100. Gang. Levi Bell, defensive end, Panthers to Seahawks. Sign him up. Gang. Anyway, now the joke is worn its welcome. Let's get back to the action. He also, we talked about Levi Bell. Josh Butler, defensive back, Panthers to the Cowboys. No, we didn't talk about Levi Bell. My apologies. Almost skipped my man. Defensive end, Panthers to the Seahawks. Joined the Panthers midseason as well. Immediately made an impact up front. So again, we're seeing one of these guys that wasn't there at the beginning of the season, came in midseason, still got the visibility, and now has the opportunity to go play for the Seattle Seahawks. He was originally drafted in the USFL 2023 collegiate draft and signed ahead of week 5. So this is what we talked about in our live stream. Zachy Boy and I, when we did the collegiate draft, we talked about it. Look, there's a good chance you're not going to see a lot of these guys sign with the USFL this season. Maybe not even ever. This is more about retaining rights. If they ever decide that they want to play in the USFL, then this team gets their rights. They have the opportunity to sign them first before any other team has a chance to. Well, this is one of those signs. This is one of those instances, rather, where the draft paid off. The Panthers made a pick, and in that first season after the pick, they were able to get Levi Bell. He ultimately ended up finishing the season with 17 tackles and 4 sacks. And I mean, that's pretty flippin' sweet considering he came mid-season. So now, again, this is what threw me off. We do have another Panthers player, Josh Butler, defensive back, Panthers, heading to the Cowboys again. Very, very sweet for the treat. Very, very hot to trot on the USFL product. Jerry Jones is building himself a whole USFL team up in Jerryland. Jerry World. I got to get Zachy Boy. And, I mean, all the newsroom crew out to Jerry World. We need to go to a Cowboys game. I know it's the Cowboys, but that stadium is just crazy. But let's get back to who will be playing and up there. Josh Butler, he finished the year with 29 tackles and blocked several passes. He was consistently one of Michigan's top players, earning his 73.9 PFF grade throughout the first 6 weeks of action. Sign him up. He started all 11 games for the Michigan Panthers. That's consistency. That's somebody that knows how to treat his body well, how to stay in good shape, how to show up for his team. And that's something that the Cowboys want. I know there might be some Cowboys fans that are going to hate when I say this, but the Cowboys have a consistency problem. Hate me. They've had a consistency problem for a long time. And maybe this is one of these guys that can help him get on back on track by showing up to practice every game, being available for every game. Even if it's on the practice squad, having somebody that's dependable that knows the ropes, that goes a long way. Now, not to mention, this is even going back to our old days of TSL Newsroom before it became USFL Newsroom. But he also played in the Spring League for the Conquerors in 2021. Played for the Spring League, played for the USFL, and now he's moved on to the Dallas Cowboys in the USFL, who, as we've mentioned, sweet for the USFL treat, hot to trot on the USFL product, getting signed up. Jerry Jones, sign him up. Some people love him, some people hate him, but these USFL players, they gotta love what they're seeing and hoping they get a piece of the pie, if you will. Now, this is a big signing. This is a name I'm surprised that it took so long for us to get to, but this is what happens when there's multiple opportunities in front of you. Kayava Tizino, star linebackers for the Pittsburgh Maulers. Well, he's officially heading to the San Francisco 49ers. So Tizino, he worked out for a couple NFL teams so far. So beyond the 49ers, he had the Seahawks. He had the New York Giants. I think everybody was just waiting to see which team was he going to land on, which one was going to make the offer, which one was he going to accept, which one did he see the most opportunity to get the playing time in 2023. And winner, chicken dinner, that's the San Francisco 49ers. Again, a team I have a little bit of contention with, but I ain't going to be mad at them today. Kayava Tizino, he was one of these guys that helped get that team, that Pittsburgh Maulers team, move them from being the worst team in 2022 to the first team in the USFL North in 2023. He was one of these guys that helped lead the charge, help them get past that line, get past the border, get past the threshold to make it to the USFL championship. And even in the championship, he put it all on the line. He left it all on the field. He did everything he could to keep that game competitive. During the 2023 season, he was sensational. He earned himself an all USFL honors. I can't believe I didn't mention that yet. Top linebacker in the league. Finished the season with 94 tackles. That's second overall in the league. He posted 13 tackles in the championship, which set a modern USFL record. And now he's going to take those talents over to San Francisco, hitting up the Bay Area, getting signed up, having some seafood, going to the wharf, and more importantly, putting in some NFL tackles. The preseason's coming up, boys. The NFL's right around the corner. It's knocking on the door. And I'll tell you this, you're going to see a lot, if not all of these guys that we're talking about today, at minimum, play in the NFL preseason games. You should be tuning in. You should be there. You know, I'm going to be there watching my Detroit Lions restore the roar, getting signed up. I feel it. I'm feeling good. Jared Goff, our golden god, is going to bring us back to the glory days. Long are gone the days where the Lions are the stomping grounds of the NFC North. No. Aaron Rodgers is gone. That's somebody else's problem to deal with now. And the Lions are looking poised to sit pretty on top of the pile, on top of Zachy Boy's Bears, on top of James Larson's Vikings, and on top of no good man's dirty old Packers, FTP. The only shining light of the Packers is Alex Magoo. It pains me to say it, but there's a little piece of me Now, it's like the Grinch's heart. It grew a little bit bigger for the Packers, but not big enough. FTP all day and night until I die. And if you can't get behind that, I don't know what to tell you. So hopefully everybody's having fun today, because I was just talking about the Lions. There's a reason I was talking about it. My man, Trey Quinn, he's heading from the Michigan Panthers to the Detroit Lions, staying in Ford Field. And right now, I'm the Panther, the number one Panthers fan, and I couldn't be more excited for my man, Trey Quinn. And here's the thing, the NFL is nothing new for my man, Trey Quinn. He's had plenty of experience. It started with a 2-year stint with the Washington Commanders from 2018 to 2019. He posted up 273 yards, 2 touchdowns across those seasons. He moved over to Jacksonville. He was with Denver. But unfortunately, an injury kind of stopped his momentum, stopped him in his place, halted his promising NFL career. And that's kind of what's great about the USFL and the XFL, really. Just, where credit is due. Is this now these leagues provide these opportunity to show, look, guys, yep, I had that injury. I know you're a little shy on pulling the trigger about re-signing for the NFL, but look, I got it, boys. Now you're back. Now you're back in the NFL. He's one of the most consistent forces for the Panthers as well, finishing the year with 438 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns. Again, these were a lot of close games. Those touchdowns matter. Like I said, though, that brings us up to date. That brings us up to speed on all of the new USFL players heading to the NFL since we spoke last week. Now, what's crazy is I bet you by later this afternoon, this list is outdated. I bet you there's more guys that are going to be adding every day, every hour even. And the crazy thing is, you see even the USFL, I think they dropped a tweet at like midnight last night. It was late as heck. Late as heck. I already swore once. I don't want to do it again on this stream. I knew it would happen. This is what you get. Sign me up Saturday. Sign me up Summers. Nobody should have trusted the ref alone. Zachy Boy's going to be like, okay, I need to find time to record next week. We can't let this madman go 3 weeks in a row, but call the cops. It must be illegal to have this much fun on a Saturday. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, are we getting signed up. Water Gang 100. Ice cream so good. We also had some re-signings. One that I wanted to talk about. JoJo Tillery heading back to the Stallions. This is a big reason why you guys should be checking out USFLnewsroom.com daily. No joke. Because every day there's a new scoop. There's a new signing. There's a new article, a new column. And you're missing out by not getting it while it's hot. Getting it while the fire is stoked. And the same goes for XFL Newsroom. Arena Newsroom, it's not as hot and heavy. But as the news comes in, we're there. We're the first to report it. I don't know. I think there might be a couple other arena football sites. And sign them up. Like I said, the same thing I said with the USFL, the same thing I said with the XFL. Build these communities up. The more podcasts, the more websites, the more of all of these things, the better it is for everybody. Because the more podcasts are, the bigger the league grows. The bigger the league grows, the more eyeballs there are on the league, and there's more interest in the league, which leads to more people looking for more podcasts. So I've always been one of those guys. I think there should be 1 million podcasts, 1 million websites, everybody do their thing. But until then, I'm always happy to carry that torch, help build the community. And hey, I don't mention it enough. If you're interested in joining the Newsroom crew, all you need to do is head over to any of the Newsroom sites, hit join us, fill out the form. But I'll tell you this, if you're in the Discord, that's the easiest way to get a hold of us. Join the Discord. The link's down below. It's wild. It's really been a sign me up summer in the Discord. It's crazier than you'll ever know. It's one of the most fun things that I've ever been a part of building, growing. But I don't even take any credit. It was 100% organic. That Discord, if I wanted to build it the way it is, it would have never happened. It would have never worked. something like this only happens organically, only by itself. We're building a real community there. I mean, there's a lot of people in there that I consider friends. And I mean, the cool thing is too, is like, I'm in there, Zach's in there, James is in there, Ducky's in there, all of the new Luke's in there, the whole newsroom crew is in the Discord. Like, we're not trying to hide. We're not trying to be like fancy. We're not celebrities. I mean, that's the thing. We're just as much part of the community as everybody else is. So come and join the conversation. Come and join the party. I mean, everybody that's played the putt-putt golf on Discord knows there ain't no party like a putt-putt party, because the putt-putt party don't stop. We have too much fun in those voice chats. So, I mean, click the link, even if you want to lurk, even if you want to sit in the background, even if you want to stalk somebody. Click the link below, have some fun. And I mean, if you're not subscribed, I'll bring it up again. Subscribe, click the bell, it builds morale, get signed up, like the video, helps the algo. But we're going to talk about some contract news, thanks to our boy Jeremiah Lane, Gridiron USFL over on Twitter. Well, he's helping us break down the Birmingham Stallions contract. So rather than me trying to put it in my own words, let's just go see what Jeremiah Lane had to say on the situation. The Birmingham Stallions dismemberment has begun. So we kind of talked about this early in the episode. We have seen 4 skill player positions inking NFL deals in the past few days with the likes of Jay Sternberger, Davion Davis, Deion Kane, and Austin Watkins. So what my man Jeremiah is going to do here is he's going to break down their contracts and his opinions on the best possible way to make their respective rosters. So beyond the contract details, we're getting a little bit of thought and insight. The newsroom way. Newsroom on top. Let's get signed up. Jay Sternberger, big name like we talked about earlier. The Buffalo Bills have signed Birmingham Stallions tight end Jay Sternberger to a 1-year, $1,010,000 deal. Ooh, that's got to feel nice. Jace's contract has no money guaranteed. He has such a high contract number for a spring league player due to having 3 accrued seasons, so it's technically a vet minimum deal. Sign him up. You got to love to see it either way. The Bills currently have 5 tight ends on the roster, including probable starter rookie first rounder Dalton Kincaid and backup Dawson Knox. So it's not going to be easy. Jace will need to fight for that 3rd tight end spot and have a very strong camp in preseason. But I mean, if he performs anything like he did during that USFL season, I got to say he's a lock. Here's what Jeremiah has to say. The bridge shouldn't be hard to gap for the former 3rd round pick, as he's played at the highest level before with the Green Bay Packers. Jace showed his highest potential with the Birmingham Stallions this year, and Jeremiah is certain he will stick around for the season and be up for extension next year. Jace is an athletic freak with plenty of upside, and I tend to agree on that one. I mean, like I said earlier in this episode, earlier while we were getting signed up, there was one name that we consistently saw in the Discord, link down below. You should join it. It was Jace. Jace all caps. Jace, my man. Sternberg him. Let's get signed up, because he was consistently making big plays for the Birmingham Stallions, making it happen, getting it done. And I think he has a good shot, and so does Jeremiah here, that he has a chance to secure that 3rd spot for the Bills. Let's move on to our man, Davion Davis, Arizona Cardinals, who we saw hot to trot, sweet for the USFL treat. The Arizona Cardinals signed Davion Davis also to a 1-year, $1,010,000 deal. This is similar to Jace's contract. The deal has a no money guaranteed, but unlike Jace's, Davion signed above the league's minimum due to not having any years accrued. This means a huge payday if Davion can make that final 53-man roster. And I mean, you're telling me, if I had the option to make a milli, even screw the 10 extra $1,000 top and above, I would be a happy ref. We would be putting on an extension on Casa de Ref. We would be getting a cyber truck to go along with the Refla. But unfortunately, those are not the days for old Ref just yet. But Davion Davis, They are coming soon. Let's take a little bit of sip. Water, gang, gang, water. Gang, gang. Ice cream so good, 100. There we go. You know, it's funny. As anybody watches this video like 3 months from now, none of that will make sense because the trend, the fad will all go away. Anyway, Davion was not the only USFL receiver that the Cardinals brought in, as they also brought in Panthers wide receiver kick returner Caden Davis, who Davion will undoubtedly be fighting for a roster spot against. So that's the how things happen in the world of football. I think it goes to show that the Cardinals liked what they see in Davion to offer him a contract so much above the minimum deal. Davion racked up 705 yards and 7 touchdowns over 12 games and was one of the most consistent contributors for the Stallions. They would not have made the championship without his work and grit. He's one of those guys you want to have on your team no matter where you put him. He can contribute. Sign up Jeremiah Lane for this article. I mean, everybody really digs the contract information, but getting that extra context on this, I think, helps. Deon Cain, like I said, there was a lot of eyeballs on this one. People waiting to see where he land. Well, Deon Cain, he signed a 1-year, $870,000 deal with the Philadelphia Eagles, also a no money guaranteed. It would seem this deal is vet minimum with a 1-year accrued deal as well, which is typical for most USFL to NFL players. Deon is no stranger to the Eagles roster. No. As he was a member of their team from 2021 to 2022. Deon also spent time with the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. On both teams, he has had some playing time in. Deon joins relatively thin wide receiver room for this time of year, at least, with 11 other receivers. He will need to make plenty of splashes in the preseason and training camp. He'll be able to take the advantage of a recent NFL rule, which makes all roster cutdowns happen on August 29th, so he can have an entire camp to prove his worth. Now, we saw how Deon Cain played in the USFL season. More importantly, we saw how he played in the USFL championship. I think he can build on that momentum, make things happen in this camp, and get himself a spot. But let's see what Jeremiah has to say. Deon will definitely have his time to shine, and with less competition in wide receiver room, it just proves that the Eagles seem to think they're fine just the way they are. If Deon can capitalize on this opportunity, we may never see him back in the spring football league ever again, which part of me sad, but a big piece of me happy, because this is what it's all about. It's all about these guys getting that opportunity, getting a chance to move on to the NFL, and worst case scenario, they have an option to play for the rest of their career in the XFL, the USFL, whatever it might be. Let's move on to Austin Watkins. So here we have another Birmingham Stallion and Austin Watkins signing his contract with the Cleveland Browns, but this time he's joining a crowded wide receiver room, which currently sits at 14 wide receivers. Thankfully, we shouldn't have to wait long to see Watkins play, as the Cleveland Browns play in the Hall of Fame game August 3rd, right around the corner, 8 p.m. Eastern. We all know where that Hall of Fame game is, too. Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, which he just played in not too long ago in the USFL Championship. Well, he's going to be potentially playing in that first preseason game of the season for the NFL. Austin Watkins signed a $750,000 1-year deal with the Browns this past Saturday. So last week, the deal is the 2023 NFL veteran minimum, which is commonplace deal for the USFL to NFL players. Watkins' deal has no guarantee money, which means there's no cap casualty if he ends up being one of the unfortunate players that doesn't survive the camp cuts. Fortunately, NFL owners approved a new rule to keep 90 players to have the first cut down to 53 on August 29th. So we talked about this earlier. He'll be able to take full advantage of the full training camp, right? Full preseason. So that does help get a little bit extra visibility, a chance to make a couple of those standout plays to get some thoughts, to get some extra eyebrows going into the NFL season and maybe get that pickup. Stallions may recognize Austin Watkins immediately, and that's probably because he has the most noteworthy play of the 2020 USFL season, was on the Stallions' first offensive play of the year. Sorry, can't talk, a little bit too signed up, but this is when our man, where did I lose it? Jamar Smith launched a beautiful 61-yard touchdown pass to Watkins. I remember I was there. That was crazy. Who made an incredible grab, fell into the end zone. Watson may have had a relatively quiet season after that game, but don't let that fool you. The play of the fellow Davion Davis and Jay Sternberger was on a commanding tone. So, I mean, it took a little bit of spotlight off of it. Either way, this is a big week for the USFL. We're in the offseason. We're seeing big things happen. We're seeing, what we all expected to see. A lot of these big name guys, a lot of these guys that made a name for themselves, spotlight their plays during the season, are moving on to the NFL. We expect to see more of that coming. We're also seeing more and more players re-sign for season 3 of the USFL. Like I said last week, the USFL became the first team in nearly 40 years to move on to a season 2. Now they're becoming the first spring football league in nearly 40 years to move on to a season 3. We're in uncharted territory. We're in unprecedented time. We're at a first of a first of a first. And now in season 3, everything's on the table. Anything can happen. When we finally get back to recording with Zachy Boy, we might need to get into speculation zone on some things that we think are going to go down in season 3. One that I talked about, I think maybe going into week 1 or maybe after week 1, speculation zone. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to see a USFL Hall of Fame. Mark my words, the ref said it. I think we're going to see it. I think it's going to be another way to bridge that gap from the original USFL to the new USFL. Also, potentially a way to incorporate the host cities. Hey, give them some love in the offseason. Give those fans another reason to think about the USFL when we're still months out, 7-8 months out from the USFL returning for that season 3. Like I said, becoming the first spring league in nearly 40 years to return for a third consecutive season. Getting signed up. I'm getting happy. I'm having fun. But I think next time Zach and I record, we might need to jump into the speculation zone and see what kind of speculative thoughts we have on who or what is going to happen going into season 3. But mark my words, I'm saying Hall of Fame. I want the credit from all the people that love to say credit. I want the credit if anything happens. Let's get signed up. Oh man, did we plow through time? I really wanted to talk about the XFL Combine, but we're kind of at time. Second week in a row, we ran out of time to talk about the XFL. But maybe if we do this a third week in a row, if we get signed up next Saturday, we will loop back on the XFL. We'll try to carve some time, give them a little piece of the pie to talk about some XFL. Looks like chat's having fun over here. Chat, any questions? Q&A time. Anything you want to know? Anything you want to hear about? Anything you want me to talk about before we head off into the sunset, head off into the distance, ride out into the rest of the Sign Me Up Saturday. Go enjoy some water, gang, ice cream so good, 100. Let me know. Chat, what are you thinking? And also, if you're following, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Click the bell. It builds morale, all that good stuff. I got to say it while we wait for chat to catch up, because I know I don't know how long it is, maybe a 30-second delay, minute delay, something like that. We'll let the audio catch up to the chat. Any suggestions? What would you like to see in Sign Me Up Summer? Going solo. Favorite cartoon of all time. Ooh, that's a good one. I'll have to think about that one. I was a big fan of Masters of the Universe, He-Man, dude. I have a whole bunch of He-Man toys right over there that I bought not too long ago, and ones that I've owned forever. So Masters of the Universe is up there. Ghostbusters is pretty good. Futurama is kind of up there. I just watched the new Futurama. It wasn't that bad. I know there are some people giving it a hard time, but Futurama is good. King of the Hill. I do like King of the Hill. God, I know there's a bunch of them. I don't want, just you know what? The top of the top, the cream of the crop, the best cartoons that there ever are, ever was, ever will be, ever has been. And I'm just going to lump them together, but just Looney Tunes. Nothing beats a good Bugs Bunny or Taz or Elmer Fudd, the alien guy, any of that stuff. Sign me up. Ooh, the Flintstones. Now we're rolling. The Flintstones were good. The Jetsons were legit. I might need to go download some of these. I love the old Flintstones. Yabba dabba doo. Sign me up. Let's have too much fun. Yeah, cartoons, man. It's been a while. I did watch the new Futurama episode. Not too bad, not too shabby. But it kind of made me want to watch the old ones. The original first 4 seasons are pretty legit. Flintstones. How do you not know the Flintstones? Favorite food. Not favorite food. That's the favorite cartoon. Speculation on expansion. I don't think we're going to see expansion season 3. I mean, at best, crazy situation, we maybe see Canton get a team and one of the other teams gets rebranded. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see how the cookie crumbles on that one. Where do we see teams going in season 3? I mean, there seems to be a lot of eyeballs on Yulman Stadium for the Breakers. We'll have to see. Nothing concrete on that. I know a lot of people were, I don't know, maybe hoping or thinking that the Generals were going to move, but I think James put something out on this as well, but this is something we've talked about behind the scenes. I don't think the Generals is happening anytime soon. That's just me. I think they'll probably be one of the last. That's not to say that they're going to get repackaged like we saw with the Tampa Bay Bandits, but I don't think that they're coming anytime soon. I think they'll be one of the last. I think Michigan still plays in Michigan. It's looking pretty good. I'm fairly certain it'll be Ford Field. I think there's just the ink's drying on that one. Birmingham and Memphis, they're still there for the long haul. Canton, as we know, is there. They're good. They're already selling tickets. Does Houston get a team in season 3? As much as I want to say yes, I just don't think we will. I've heard a couple names, a couple spots that have been tossed up. Wasn't TD-ECU Stadium for any of those that were curious, but that's the beauty of Texas. There's a million options. Everybody loves football. And from the few that I heard, I would be very happy to see them land there. Very nice facilities. I just don't know if we see it happen in season 3. The interest seems to be there in New Orleans, so presumably it just comes down to a deal being struck with Yulman or Shrine or whoever it may be. But we'll have to see. That's the beauty of off season. There's speculation and then further confirmation. But I think that's it for us this week. I mean, I'm getting a little tired. I haven't eaten today. I need to eat a little snack, get my blood sugar back up. So everybody make sure, like I said, you subscribe, follow us over on social media. Make sure you follow us and click the bell. It builds morale. I think that's about it, guys. So until next time, sign you up.
Low self-esteem is like a virus. You catch it from other people. Low self-esteem is like a virus. You catch it from other people. You didn't get your low self-esteem necessarily because you were born with it. It's got to be a genetic component here. But mostly it comes from narcissists who have their own broken self-esteem, and they want you to have a broken self-esteem, and if you don't have it, they're going to give it to you. You catch it from other people, and you can get rid of it, just like you can get rid of it. Low self-esteem is like a virus. You catch it from other people. Low self-esteem is like a virus. You catch it from other people. You do have a constitution. You do have immunity, but it takes a little while, just like getting cold. The cold wins for a while, and then your natural immunity takes over. Your natural immunity can get you away from this low self-esteem that you caught from other people. It's not in you. It's something you caught. And you're going to beat the shit out of it. Just like your immune system will beat the shit out of it.
Tom Hanks was it.
99% of you plus. Low self-esteem is like a virus.